So I just want to take a minute just to do a video thing, and it's kind of it's something that I've noticed with people is they don't know what they want to do in terms of job and future, and these are people that range from 16 all the way up to, well, I would say 25, because I know a few people that are at that age that still don't quite know what they want to do, and they see that as a problem. And it doesn't have to be a problem. It's just the fact that you haven't found something you enjoy doing, you haven't found something that motivates you and just gets you thinking in a certain way. Because throughout school, if we start off with primary school, we're told about how we need to find a job, and then that's it, you find a job. But they don't talk about the rest of it because obviously we're too young. So in primary school, it would kind of start out like, what do you want to do as a job, Johnny? And then you'll say, oh, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a policeman. They're like, haha, that's cute, okay, draw a policeman. Then you go into secondary school, more towards the later years, so end of year 9, all the way through to year 11. They'll talk to you about future careers. Army is almost always brought up. Various things you can go down the accountant's route. I mean, they're all academic, if you get what I mean. I mean, you do have a few creative ones, but they kind of throw in the academic bits and pieces because that's what schools do. So then you kind of like, okay, see what GCSEs you need, or what BTECs you need, and then you'd go on, and then they're like, oh, by the way, you need to go to college as well. You're like, okay, well, for my my kind of generation, we are, what are we again? I think we are the first generation that have to, well, I wouldn't say generation, but we're the first kind of people that have to stay in education up to the age of 18, and then after that we can decide to stay on or go do our own thing. But so then you progress on to doing the A-levels, and then they're like, okay, you need an A-level in biology or chemistry to become this scientist or that doctor. You need to have an A-level in psychology to become a childminder or child psychologist. So they're all these things that kind of build up on top of you based on grades, not personality. So you've got all these amazing grades that you do really well in, but that's because you're an academic person. It doesn't mean that you enjoy the subject. And that's where they kind of rely on you, like, well, you should know what you want to do. You should have an idea of where you want to go. Yeah, because you're 16, 17, you've got a very good idea of where you want to be. Not true. When I was, okay, wind back a bit. I didn't always want to be a photographer, I didn't always want to be a filmmaker. It just wasn't something that I saw as a feasible way of making money or as a job. I mean, over time I've then realised that I can do certain things with photography that allow me to get money, and it's all opened up in the last year. I'm currently 19, 20 this year, and I'm kind of lucky in the fact that I found what I wanted to do, and people kind of say, oh well, it's easy for you to say because you already have your dream job. But the thing is, I don't, and it's not easy. I mean, I get a lot of people coming up to me and say, you're a good photographer, will you do this, will you do that? I'm like, yeah, sure. At the beginning you start out doing free work, and then you kind of have to turn around and saying, well, I need money, this is my future career, I need to, have an actual income enough for me to be able to carry on my love for this art. And that can be quite hard, and it can be quite tricky. And then, on a side note, if you're creative and you're trying to get into the creative area, work for free, then ask for money. If you go in asking for money, people will be put off by you. They like to see what work you've done. They want to see your love. If you really love photography and you really love filmmaking or art or graphic design and you do it for free, people see that you actually enjoy it and that you'll put every ounce of heart you have into work for them. If you kind of roll up and you're kind of demanding cash in hand, they haven't seen anything, you're kind of going into this the wrong way, because it's not about the money. Okay, I mean, to some extent, yes, it is about the money, but in this case it isn't. You want to show people what you can do and that you love this job that you have. So, back to where I was. So I was quite fortunate in finding a job, well, a future job that I want to pursue and what I want to do with it and where it can go, and thinking up ideas of how I can help people kind of get the job that they want and how I can get them into the creative space, because as I've kind of realised, it's not that easy. It's all about contacts. It doesn't matter if you have a qualification, a degree, a master's degree, it's pretty much down to who you know when it comes to getting jobs. And I've looked around and there aren't that many, but then I do hear people like, oh, this job is going, this job is going. Contacts. End of story. So, if you don't know what you want to do and you're trying to figure out how you want to find your job and how you want to find something you love, just do it all. Like, don't just kind of think, play guitar. I mean, do things that won't necessarily get you that far or get you the job that you want, because it's going to allow your mind to open up. So learn to play guitar or piano or do puzzles. I mean, that's not my kind of preference. I prefer playing guitar and learning things. I'm a hands-on person, if you will. Some people prefer solving puzzles. Other people like painting. So paint, I mean, the thing is they're going to cost a bit of money at the beginning, but once you have them, you have them. I've currently got 2 guitars sitting in my room, and when I don't have much work to do, I just go up there and play them for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, and then I get back to work. It's just distracting your mind, but sitting down and thinking what you want to do, or you don't know what you want to do, or where you want to be, and it's just like, I don't know what to do with my life. Then just do different things. Go for a bike ride. Just find something that will keep your mind occupied. And what will tend to happen is your mind will be like, oh, I came across this the other day when I was, learning on how to play guitar. I saw this ad pop up, or I was reading this story, or I read this magazine. I mean, reading is a big key thing into finding what you want to do, because it makes you think about yourself. And don't be scared of, it sounds cheesy, but go travelling maybe, find yourself, if you will, and you'll be able to understand yourself better, and you'll understand what you want to do. And there's nothing wrong with being different, because from a creative point of view, if someone I see as different, then that's a big thumbs up, because it means when they approach a problem, they're going to look at it from a different point of view. They're not going to look at it from an academic point of view. They're going to be like, well, if you did it this way and did it that way, it'll give this effect, or it'll have this effect on people and the way that they view it. It's all different. So if you don't know what you want to do as a job, personally, there are certain, this is kind of broad. So when I say about don't go to university, what I'm meaning is don't go to university if you have no idea of where you want to be in the next 5 years, or if it's just holding you back. So right now I feel for me, the kind of work that I'm getting, I'm currently in my 3rd year of college and it's holding me back. And me going to university is just going to prolong that, and I don't feel like I'm going to benefit from just going to university. I mean, I'm going to learn more going to university, but I'm going to learn just as much from experience and starting from ground zero. I mean, the benefit of going to university, apparently, according to my friends, is contacts. You'll get loads of contacts. They'll have people coming in from all around the world. I mean, if you go in a film school, for example, they'll have directors, they'll have directors of photography, they'll have famous cameramen, cinematographers. They'll all come in and you get a chance to talk to them, understand how they work, how they got to the top. So it's a good education platform. I mean, if you want to be going into the film industry, you tend to start out as a runner, and then you kind of build your way up. So then you'll be something like sound assistant or camera assistant, and then you get even further, floor manager, or kind of acting director when the director isn't around. So you build up slowly and you'll end up where you want to be. And if you're worried right now that you're not where you want to be, or there's just something eating away at you, you've got to kind of look at yourself and think, what am I doing right now? Is it where I want to be? Do I have goals? Should I set myself some goals? Short term, long term? And by short term, I mean it can be as short as at the end of the day, or at the end of the week, or at the end of the month, or at the end of 6 months, or a year. And then long term can prolong that. So that can be, where do I see myself in the next 5 years, 7 years? 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, and so on. So don't bog yourself down now, because today is one day. Yesterday is the past, tomorrow is the future, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present. And what that means is, today is the day that you can start doing something. Don't prolong it. Don't say, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it when I'm free. Do it now. So for all of you people who want to go out there and you want to make something of yourselves, if you have an idea of what you want to do as a job, then don't wait until the end of college. Don't wait till the end of university to start. Start now. Because I promise you, you start now, by the time you finish university and you're going to start, you'll already be 10 miles ahead. And with that, I'm going to end it here. Catch you guys in the next video. Please do like and subscribe. I will be doing more videos in the future. I've got a bunch of ideas I want to get down. I've got a lot of I want to talk about. As you can see, I've been jumping around, so I'll be probably chopping and editing this anyway. But yeah, thank you for watching and see you next time. Did I mention I want to be a psychiatrist?